Gladness Katiga supports women who face trials in life to learn how to overcome challenges and rise from pain to purpose. Gladness has served women internationally, providing business coaching services and personal development support. She empowers women to follow their dreams and passions, despite challenges that life may throw at them, and discover their purpose. Gladness is a business consultant for over 10 years, with a passion for entrepreneurship development in Africa. Gladness provides coaching and mentoring services in business development for entrepreneurs worldwide. Gladness lives a purposeful life for supporting women to unleash their queen identity through her courses, coaching, mentoring, workshops, and events.
Hello, welcome. Good evening if you are watching this live from the UK. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the rest of the world. Or if you're catching this on replay, then greetings to you too. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my Facebook Live. Decided to have a double whammy today. Why not? I initially said I was going to do this on YouTube, but then I had a few people say, well, why just YouTube? Why not Facebook as well? So here we are. So we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. So first of all, thank you for joining me. If this is your very first time watching me, then welcome. First and foremost, I want to welcome you to subscribe. So hit the subscribe button so that you can get notifications every single time I have a new video, and hit the bell button as well so that you can get notified when I'm having a live session or a new video has been created. And if you haven't already, press the like button as well and share this broadcast. Share so that we can get other people to hear this awesome message. What else? So if you're on Instagram, you can also follow me at Gladness Official. I'm also on Twitter at it's Gladness, right? Twitter is Gladness. On Facebook, it's Gladness Official page. So let's connect socially, right? Let's connect socially on all the platforms if you haven't done so already. And welcome. I am so excited for tonight's amazing episode to celebrate International Women's Month, right? I called it the whole month, and I've been trying to do this particular session for quite a while. And I said, what better day to do it than on the last day of the month? Then we can finish with a bang, right? So let's get started. Without any further ado, I want to welcome my amazing sister, my amazing girlfriend, my amazing inspiration, the one and only inspirational guru, Miss Veritas Nkom. Welcome. Yay! Hey, Queen.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome. I am so excited to have you here. Before I go any further, please introduce yourself so that everybody can know who you are, and let them know straight away, right at the beginning, where they can find you so they can be doing that as they watch the broadcast.
Sure. So, hey guys, my name is Veritas, the inspirational guru. It's a pleasure to be here. So who am I? What do I do? Well, I'm a barrister lawyer. I was called to the bar here in the UK like 2 years ago, 2019, July 2019 to be precise. Outside of that, I am an inspirational speaker and a life transformational coach. And as a life transformational coach and even speaker, my mission is to inspire corporate women to transform from just being 9-to-5 women to CEO goddesspreneurs. When I say goddesspreneurs, I'm building powerful goddess women in business. Become the CEO of your own life, CEO of your own business, and showing them how to build legacy luxury brands, because I'm very high-ended with how I coach. So that's my mission. And while doing that, I spend a lot of time teaching women to remember who they are, their purpose as women, to learn how to unleash the inner goddess that God placed in them, and their self-love, how to deal with relationships correctly. Because for you to be a legacy-based woman, have a legacy-based business, you need to match that as a woman yourself. So that's who I am, and I'm glad to be here.
Amazing. Lastly, how can they reach you? So let us know now your socials so that they can follow you.
Yes, forgive me. I don't know why I forgot that part. So on Instagram, it's the Inspirational Guru, the whole word with an underscore. So the Inspirational Guru _ I'm now on Clubhouse. So on Clubhouse, you can put the Inspirational Guru. No, actually Inspiration Guru. Just Inspiration Guru on Clubhouse, and on YouTube, the Inspirational Guru as well. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. I forgot about Clubhouse. Oh my God. Keeping up. So yes, Clubhouse has been amazing. And you know, I just recently overcame that fear of Clubhouse. Like I hadn't yet, you know, I had joined since December, right? But I haven't had the courage to just participate. And it was one of my things on my agendas for this first quarter to actually have a room or to even speak in there. And lo and behold, yesterday somebody just invited me randomly. And I thought to myself, well, there you have it, manifested that, done and dusted. So yes, Clubhouse is amazing. So I am so excited for tonight. I'm so excited because we have been trying to do this for a minute, right? For a while. Last weekend I had flu, and you were like, sis, you can't do this, you need to rest. I was like, no, I want to do this. But hey, all in good time and in God's time. So I want to know, guys, comment and let me know if you are here. I can see some people that are here. Do let me know where you are watching from. So I'm just checking here. I can see a few people on YouTube watching with us, and I can see a few people on Facebook. So say hello and let us know where you are watching from. And please have this conversation with us. Have this conversation with us because we are going to have an awesome time. Like, we're here for supper. I'm ready for soul food, Veritas. I don't know about you.
I'm ready for the soul food and the soda, the whole 3-course.
The whole 3-course. Because, you know, the last couple of weeks, as few of you would have known, we've been talking a lot about, narcissistic relationship, toxic relationship. I've done quite a few videos recently on that. And, and then it dawned on me like, okay, now that we keep hyping this toxic thing, how about dealing with the core and something positive? How can we actually avoid these toxic relationships? And this is why me and Verita said to do this, because we realize that as much as people go on about we're learning and understanding what to avoid, but how about building ourselves? How can we acknowledge ourselves as women, right? So I want to know if you are ready to receive this. Comment and let me know if you are ready to learn. The topic is Unveiling Your Queen Identity as a Proverbs 31 woman. It is a big subject, right? We're going to do our best to get this done within good time. It is a big subject. And, there's so many people that throw that word around, isn't it, Veritas? They throw it around a lot. And, most of the time, men as well use it to mimic us or to talk negative, like, but are you a Proverbs 31? Yeah, to abuse women. Are you a Proverbs 31 woman, right?
To abuse women, patriarchy. Big time patriarchy, to try and downplay who the woman really is, because patriarchy is control. Patriarchy is seeing women as property, and that's not what God said, but they misuse scripture to justify how they view the woman.
Exactly. And that's the men's side. And then I realized on the women's front,
that too,
most ladies are even scared, or they think they are not this. They think it's this something extraordinary. And actually, I'm like, let's break it down and realize that we are all Proverbs 31 women, and we can be. And these are some of the qualities, right? A lot of people think it's either just that stay-at-home wife that just stays at home, or they think it's that career-driven woman that's just working hard. And I'm like, no, actually, it's a balance, right?
Very much
It's
so,
a
yeah.
balance. You can be a stay-at-home wife, you can do the staying at home, you can be the career woman, and you can still be the Proverbs 31 woman, the virtuous woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, you know what, enough of the myths, enough of the maybes and the misunderstanding. Let's just look at this and dive in there and read this word, right? Are you ready, Veritas?
I'm ready to go, yes.
So what we're going to do, we're going to just read bits and then digest. And I want you guys to throw in your thoughts as you're watching, throw in your comments so that we can have this discussion, right? We're here to discuss. So let's talk. So Proverbs 31 verse 10 reads, right? I'll read the first two verses. It says, "Who can find a virtuous and capable wife? She's more precious than rubies." Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what, Veritas? That particular one, for me, it's like when I started reading this and digesting this and understanding this, it made me realize my worth.
Yes.
Because I was like, God is telling me, like the Bible is saying, I'm more precious than rubies.
Yep.
So it encouraged me to value myself more. Because I'm like, how much are rubies worth, right? The most costly precious stone in the world. I think is worth millions. Last time I checked, I can't remember. Millions, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you knew as a woman that you are precious like rubies and you are worth millions, like if you had an object or a property that was worth millions, how would you take care of it? Right?
With rubies, the ruby price with ruby diamonds, when I was looking up about rubies, funny enough, I saw a document say that there are record prices of over $1 million per carat.
Wow.
Ruby.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just imagine, Veritas, you're worth more than 1 million. Like, how would you act? And this is what I want to say to women.
Yes.
When you know you are valued at that price, would you really be taking any kind of nonsense from people? Would you place yourself with any odd thing that would just mistreat you? Exactly. Would you mistreat? It's like some people have nice, expensive handbags, watches, and, you know, how would you treat that Rolex? Exactly. Right? You wouldn't mistreat it. You would pamper it. You would take care of it. You would be wiping that, cleaning up that. You know, we say practice self-care. They think it's hard. You would be wiping down that bag every single day because you don't want it to deteriorate, right?
Right.
So how comes women do not realize their worth? How come they find it difficult to practice self-care when we are described as precious than rubies?
Exactly.
Right? And the other thing that stood out to me is it says who can find. So a lot of people think you have to be the wife first, like you need to be a wife already before you can be a Proverbs 31 woman or virtuous woman. But actually it says find. So you need to be found as a wife.
Yes.
You need to have these qualities already as before you are found. For you to be found, you need to be the wife already. It doesn't happen magically after.
You know, in addition to that, when it says who can find, one thing that stood out to me is it's saying this is something so unique and so rare. Not just anybody can find this. Not just anybody can have access to this type of woman. She is so special. She's so unique. She's so rare. Her value is priceless. Not just anybody can find her. So who is worthy? Who can find another? Who is worthy of finding this kind of woman? Meaning, not just anybody is worthy of finding this kind of woman.
Yes.
And that made me realize, okay, that not just anyone is worthy of me. Not just anyone is worthy of my space, because I am very rare. I am unique. And when you look deep, you know, what I think many people have done with Proverbs 31 is like you rightly said at the beginning, many women mimic it for hype. I was one of them, so I definitely can say that I'm the Proverbs 31. Yes, you know, they mimic it for hype, or men use it to do mimicking or whatever. But not many women have sat down to decode it, and it took me to sit down. It was pressed on my spirit late at night while I was in bed, and I said, I know that's God, because that's weird how it came out of nowhere. And that's when I went through Bible plans talking about it and helping me decode it. And that's when I was like, oh my goodness, okay, this is deeper than the face value. There's so much more. Like, she's not just a wife, she's a very unique and rare woman. And that's why, you know, the level up community, I love it, I respect it, because I'm part of it. And the high value woman, but I've changed the name to high esteemed or virtuous woman, because yes, we know there's high value women and men, but unfortunately toxicity has been injected into it, which I've been seeing in this. And now it like, I'm a high value woman, I'm a high value woman, but no one's paying attention to the high value goddess woman is Proverbs 31. That's what God revealed to me. So I think God was showing me, this is who the real high value woman is, and this is who people need to hear about, not the hype of outside the paying the bills, outside the Birkin bag, outside, like, Birkin bags, I love it. Listen, my husband better give me one of those out. Hey. Okay, outside, you know, the luxurious part. That's part of it. That's absolutely a big part of who we are. But the larger part is the Proverbs 31 and scripture. We need to go back to the identity. And I think that's why I was led to Proverbs. God was telling me, you need to go back to the word, because you're forgetting that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's read the next part. Oh my God, are we gonna get through this? Let's read the next part. So it says, her husband can trust her. She will greatly enrich his life. Right? I'll just snippet that because there's a lot to get through. But it's like, what are the riches you're bringing, right? A lot of people will think that, you know, for me to be virtuous, you know, I don't do nothing. I just need to be ready to be married. But what are you bringing? Like, what are you bringing into the marriage, right? What essence of value do you have for yourself? How are you building yourself, right? So that you can bring into this courtship, right? Do you have anything to add, or we read on?
But this one is very powerful. I think what we need to pay attention, it says her husband is, so I'm reading from the New International Version. Okay. But her husband can trust. That's a powerful word. Okay. He can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. This scripture confirms that women are the prize.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I've been seeing so much back and forth. Who is the prize? This line confirms who the prize is, because it says that her husband can trust her with his life, trust her with his business, trust her with his weaknesses, his flaws, everything. Okay. And as he trusts her, she will greatly enrich his life. She will be the addition that will bless him. Okay. And this takes us back to the purpose of woman in Genesis. In this part, it expands what God said to Adam. It is not good that man should be alone. I will therefore give him a helper, okay, to his works. Not a servant, not a slave, not a property, a helper. And therefore the woman came from his rib, part of him, okay? So what is it? What is a helper? A helper is a problem solver, okay? So that means women, we were given the purpose of solving problems. So now Proverbs expands on that. It just came on to me now that she will greatly enrich because she solves the problems. She blesses him. What we multiply. Women are multipliers. Oh yes. You give us seed, we give you children. You give us, you know, the home. You give us the house, we turn it into a home. Yes. You give us the business idea, we turn it into an empire. Oh yes. You give us the church, we turn it into a ministry. Okay. You give us the money, we multiply it. That's how powerful women are. This takes us back to the femininity point. This is how femininity, it's powerful. So that line of the scripture is extremely important because it highlights the blessing of woman to
a man. Absolutely. Oh, and I say this to my clients all the time who come when it's to do with starting a business or a project, who come and use, you know, responsibilities at home as a problem, or feeling that they cannot do it because they cannot handle it. And I'm like, yes, you can run a business. You run a business of your home. You are budgeting when you're going out doing your food shopping and you've got £50, £100, $100. You then start calculating, how am I going to use this $100? Then you start saying, okay, I can get this next week. That's project management in itself, right?
Exactly.
You are running the home. You are a project manager. And I'm like, without you being able to run that home, if the husband is coming home to somebody that's not running a home, what are they coming home in? What are they coming home to? Right? They're coming home to disaster. But because you are running the home, because you are women running some kind of business on the side, you are that virtuous woman. Therefore, you are to be valued. You are to value yourself. Those are your gifts that you're bringing. That is what makes you your worth. You know, I heard you have this conversation with somebody who was like, oh, why do I have to pay? Why do we need not to settle for 50-50? And it's like, well, when you are giving birth and you are running the house as well as doing the work, then what else are you supposed to bring to the table? That is what you bring.
Funny right? Conversation. But but then again, I understood where she was speaking from, because she was programmed this masculine energy. The masculine energy she had, I once had it. So when she came with it, why? What's the problem with 50-50? And then I explained. Funny enough, I just remember I remembered you in that live, and then she was now like, well, I can't have him doing all of this, paying all this finances, and I'm using up gas and electricity, and I'm not contributing that. And that's when I had to correct her. And obviously you heard me, I was like, young lady, you having children is contributing. You putting the house in order is contributing. You even though we're made to receive, and I'm going to keep it real, you even having sex, okay, is highly contributing. You know, it takes energy. You bearing the children for 9 months, cleaning up the children, doing the laundry, cooking the dinner is contributing. So what has gas and electricity got to do with it when you're the one keeping the house in order? And obviously it made it seem like I was giving shit, but I was just like, huh? So exactly, like, I need to financially contribute. Well,
another thing, my favorite other thing to say, Veritas, is let's be real. These things that have come up now in this modern world, I don't know where they came from. This is not how God ordained it. Because back in the day, a man was killing a whole lion, right, to bring food to the home. It's true. Was killing a lion. A lion.
Toxic feminism. I made sure I said toxic feminism, because I do hear people say, it's feminism. Hey, let's not blame it on feminism, because again, this is patriarchy trying to blame women. Don't blame feminism. Feminism started with a great intention. Feminism, the reason feminism even came to life is because of patriarchy. Patriarchy, where the men were abusing their God-ordained dominant positions to oppress women. So yes, a group of liberal women created feminism to stop that. So hey, let's not blame the feminism. It started off, without feminism, women would not have been able to vote. Without feminism, women would not have been able to get into work. Without feminism, women would not have been able to have equal rights. So let's not forget the blessing of it. However, there is toxic feminism. And that, or should I say, toxic feminism is extreme feminism, which has caused a lot of this problem. Because now men are using, unfortunately, I'll say, irresponsible men are using feminism as an excuse to say, okay, well, since you women have rights, we don't have to be men, which is nonsense. That's an excuse, but the toxic feminism has caused a lot of issues, and now it's modern day women versus traditional women.
But this here is an actual balance, because there's verses in here which I think we should breeze, go through quickly. So the next one, she brings in good and no harm. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She's like a merchant ship bringing her food from afar. Right. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her husband and plans the day's work for her servant girls. Again, this is the balance. Like, she is still a house woman. She still takes care of her home. So we're not saying that she gets all these, you don't pay bills and you don't do this, but she doesn't take care of the home. She still does, because I've had so many women get this wrong, right? I've had so many men get this wrong. I've had so many women get this wrong, thinking that, what we're saying is you have to be this high goddess that does nothing and just, puts her hands like this. And it's like, no.
Goddesses don't do nothing. It's just in case y'all didn't know. The goddesses we read about, Nefertiti, Isis, Cleopatra, they don't do nothing. These women created legacies. They did stuff. Yes, they had maids, but they did work.
Exactly. Right. So let's carry on. So she goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. This is my favorite. She's entrepreneurial. Come on.
She creates a legacy. She plants a vineyard. She creates crop that will then she multiplies. That will all multiply. That crop is legacy. It multiplies. It feeds people. She's making the money.
Yes.
Understand that she's creating a legacy. She's planting a vineyard by creating a legacy.
Yes. So don't let anybody say that a virtuous woman does not work. She's not entrepreneurial. She doesn't run business. This verse right here shows us that she does. Let's carry on. She's energetic and strong and a hard worker. Okay. On a positive note, hard worker does not mean that she is abused
or burning herself out.
Yes, she's not burning herself out, right? Which we're going to see in some further verses. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. Her dealings are profitable. Go on, Veritas.
Oh, she's an entrepreneurial woman, and she doesn't just go making any investments. She doesn't just go finalizing any contracts. She does her research, and she makes sure that whatever dealings she's involved in, she gets a return on investment. She's an investor. What this is telling you is she's an investor.
Yes, she is.
She's an investor. So she's all about making profitable dealings that will benefit her, her legacy, and her family.
Absolutely. And I think that profitable dealing can also be on a personal note. For you to be profitable in your dealings, it means in your friendships, in your relationships, do they profit you? Right? What kind of friendships are you having? What is your circle saying? Right? Your relationships, the people you deal with, the people you talk to need to be profitable. I said this to a last client that when you're telling me you don't have time, but what are you spending your time doing? Me and my girlfriends, you find friends that all you do is all about gossiping. Friendships, all you do is, just looking at what's the latest trends. How does that profit your life?
Does it profit your growth?
Dealings are not profitable. My circle, my girlfriends, people like you, I have conversations about how can I better myself, right? Conversations about pulling each other on. You two were encouraging me, just yesterday, like, you seen that deal, you better jump for that thing. And I jumped in there and I signed up for that thing because those are the kind of friendships that enrich you, friendships that you can actually gain from. When was the last time, if you look at your circle, ladies, when was the last time you had a profitable conversation? When was the last time you had a conversation with your girlfriend or your circle that ended up in you actually making money?
Yes, collaboration. Is it profiting me? If I collaborate with you, is it going to impact people's lives? That's the kind of profitable dealings. Okay, if I collaborate with you, will it transform the people's lives that we speak into? Yes. If I collaborate with you, will it help me level up or help you level up, or we level up into new heights? If I collaborate with you or build a friendship with you, will it take me further or will it make me stagnant in my destiny? I'm glad you brought that up. The profitable dealings is more than just financial.
Absolutely.
It's destiny based.
Yes, because a lot of people are just stuck in the same place year in, year out, and they're not growing. And I had to do this work myself. There were a lot of dealings I had to get rid of in friends. Right?
Me too. There were friends who...
A lot of dealings I had to cut off.
Me too. Friends who and it can be hard, I'm not going to lie to all of you, but you'll realize that it was worthy because, I had friends who I was living with. I had friends who were staying at my house. I had when we were going through stuff. I had friends who I traveled with, who I'd known for decades or a decade. And when I sat back, I realized the only benefit I was getting was some leisure and being involved in drama. But when it came to business growth, when it came to leveling up, it wasn't really there. So I just had to say, you know what? I'll let it go. And it can be hard to let go, especially when you're emotionally involved with these people. But then when I actually let go and let God, God started to show me women who I was like, whoa, where have you been all my life? And God was, well, God is trying to show you, if you don't let me move this out the way, you wouldn't see where you're supposed to go.
Yeah. And I had another conversation in a group chat where somebody was saying, well, I am trying, I am doing everything I can to better myself, but, nothing is changing. And I had to ask, okay, have you physically removed yourself from that toxic environment, those non-profitable relationships? Have you actually done that? Because all she kept talking about was how she's trying to see whether, her friends could change. And I'm like, no, you have to physically, literally remove yourself, because until you remove those old friends that do not benefit you, you cannot attract new ones, because there's no space in your life. There's no space physically. There's no space in your mind, because you're still stuck in that mindset. And the thought of, these current circumstances maybe could change and transform. Whereas no, you have to put yourself physically in a different environment that you can start having positive dealings, right? Profitable dealings, rather. Great. So we read on. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber.
She's a creator.
Yes, she's a creator. That's a nice one. Yes. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. Again,
she's a philanthropist.
Absolutely. What difference are you making?
She's charitable. So she's a philanthropist. Sorry, my tongue always gets twisted with that word. She's a philanthropist. I'm still
I shall not attempt it right now.
She's a philanthropist and she's a charity woman. So that even taught me that, okay, V, you that's so much into business and impacting people's lives. And even my father himself said to me, I know that you're very much into business, but I need you to think about charity. So that's when I went and asked my parents, because I know they had an NGO. I know my mother has an NGO. My mother has an NGO back in Nigeria for widows and orphans. And I now said to her, when she next goes to her village, she needs to tell me, because I'm going to send money up to help those people. So now I'm like, okay, what can I do? Who can I help? And I was like, let me take it back home. They need it. So yeah, she's a charitable woman. She's a philanthropist and she cares about people. So all Proverbs 31 women, we have to give back.
Yes, give back. So I was going to say, if it's not in money, then in what forms? In your time, in effort, in energy? What way can you give back? What things can you do, or can you support a community, a small group? You have to do something. I personally have just recently, actually not even announced this, but have opened a social enterprise called Unleash Yourself with Gladness. Yes. So yes, I did that. It's been my dream for a while. I was trying to work on the name and trying to think about, okay, what do I want it to be about? Finally concluded. So hopefully towards the end of the year, that is on the pipeline, that would start running soon.
That's amazing.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. So we read on. So she has no fear of winter for her household. For everyone, it has warm clothes. Amazing.
She's highly economical, because she knows she has her house in order. Because she has her house in order, no matter what the season is, she doesn't have anything to worry about, because her house is in order. She's very organized.
Again, responsibility. She's responsible. So we're talking about finances. We're talking about balancing. I have a lot of people that come and say, I want to start a business. And I'm like, okay, so what's your finances like at home? You don't just jump into a business until the things in the house are sorted. You want to know that you're financially able to start this business. You want to make sure that everything in the home is settled, well in advance. Planning. This also shows planning, right? Organization skills, being able to plan your day, plan your weeks, so that nothing goes wrong in the household. Again, showing that this virtuous woman is a homey woman. I don't know how to call her. She is not what people tend to think.
She's the boss of the home, if you think about it.
The boss
she
of
keeps
the
the house
home
in order.
first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Next, she makes her own bedspreads. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns.
She's a luxury woman. There you go.
Yes.
She's a luxury woman. She don't do cheap. She's luxury. So to all those women who have people saying, oh, you bougie. Oh, why must you have expensive stuff? Oh, just keep it simple. The virtuous woman is not simple.
There you have it. It's there. I wish we could highlight that.
She's a luxury woman. She's high-ended. She's a luxury, high-ended goddess woman. And she settles for nothing less.
She dresses in fine linen. And from what I see, this is her, you know, self-care 120%.
That's it, that part.
You know, self-care 120%, because for her to dress in fine linen is describing the kind of woman that she is. So for those women that think you can just show up anyhow, for those women who think we're being extravagant, right?
She's stunning. She's high quality.
Thank you.
She don't do cheap.
She don't do cheap.
You know, if anyone tries to tell you you should be cheap and simple, you're too bougie, just know that look at Proverbs 31:22. They don't understand who that woman is.
Show them the verse. Show them the verse.
And let me you know, funny enough, I put up, I'm not sure if you saw the post, but I put up on my Instagram and it had a lot of hits. I put up a picture of a gorgeous black woman, stunning dark-skinned black woman, and she was wearing, and the reason why I love that picture is because I said when I get married, I'm going to have a gold wedding, not a white wedding. So
you like a bit of gold?
Yes, so exactly. So I was thinking about my skin. I was like, my wedding dress is going to be gold, and my crown is going to be gold with Swarovski crystals. And her dress and her crown is exactly what I want. So, but you know what? I put the picture up and I put a little quote in the middle, and I said, the high maintenance myth. Ladies, do not be afraid to set your standards high. This high maintenance woman myth is only made by patriarchal men or men who cannot afford you. They haven't got money. They can't afford you. So they will call you high maintenance. But what's high maintenance to them is a piece of cake for the other. Okay. So do not set your standards. Do not set your standards lower. Don't lower them. Don't take your crown off. You are not supposed to be afforded by just anyone. You are not supposed to. I put that post up and so many women were like, oh my goodness, you're right. So I want you to think about that.
Absolutely. And there goes your evidence.
There goes your evidence. Not cheap. She's expensive.
Dressings, Elizabeth says, dressing will make your mind to think well. Exactly. When you dress good, you feel good.
You feel good.
That's absolutely right. And again, you get the confidence, right? You get the confidence to do what it is that you're doing, because ultimately you do feel good. Absolutely. So we read on. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with the other civil leaders.
Hey, let us add. This one is wonderful. This is beautiful. This one is wonderful. Her husband is not a dusty.
And he got a job, J-O-B.
Her husband is not a dusty. Her husband is a man who is well known for his leadership. He sits with leaders. He's an impactful man. He's a man of impact. He's an alpha male. So when I hear people say, oh, alpha females and alpha males, listen, alpha females who are feminine, there are alpha feminine females, okay? Alpha feminine females, as they are divine feminine goddess women, but they have an alpha power. Like I said, Queen Nefertiti, Queen Cleopatra, they are alpha, they are very highly divine feminine women, but they are powerful, okay? She's married to an alpha male, a very powerful male that takes care of her, but he's known for his leadership. He's known for his impact. He's not no dusty. He's not no joke. He's a leader, not a dusty, not a joker, not a hype man that, you know, he's out there hyping, but he's disrespecting his wife behind closed doors. That's not who he is. That's who the husband. So that means that should tell you that as a Proverbs 31 woman, or as a Proverbs 31 goddess woman, godly woman, with a purpose, okay, which we all are. You can't just settle for any man. And, you know, I do hear some people speak against hypergamy. But to be honest, I'm not against hypergamy. When I look at when I look at scriptures like this, women are now saying we want to marry a man who is respected and is like great at his craft. He's a leader. He's great. He's big at something.
Yes.
And it makes sense. Why would I want to marry like? And when I used to, you know, if I just point out to women here, and I don't know, I'm going to speak as a black woman because I hear this amongst a lot of black women.
Yeah.
We're being told, and I've been told before, don't focus on wanting to marry a made man. Why don't you settle for potential? Scripture doesn't tell me to settle for potential.
Exactly.
This right here, this man here that they're talking about her husband's not a potential man. He's a made man. So next time someone comes and tells you, go for potential, stop focusing on a made man, show them this scripture.
Yes, let him fruition that potential into a product, into something. Let him finish himself before forging into a relationship. I'm going to let that stew because everything you said in there is just, it's enough. It's enough. It's enough. Let's go to the next verse. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. Again, she's an entrepreneur. Yes, she is. Next. She's clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future.
Wow. She's the divine feminine goddess woman.
I don't even know what to say about that. It just sounds so beautiful, you know. It's like, it's self-explanatory, right? She's not fearful. She's not constantly stressed and worried about the problems or things that she cannot control, right? She laughs without fear of the future. Because she knows, number one,
Elizabeth, that's not a compliment. Elizabeth, it just came down. Elizabeth said you all look beautiful. God bless you, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. So that one should just let you know you need to relax. Like, do not because stress again is the number one thing that just gets rid even of all your beauty, right? She laughs without fear of the future. Let's go to the next one. When she speaks, her words are wise. She gives instructions with kindness. Where does wisdom come from? This one made me think. I'm like, okay, when she speaks, her words are wise. Not only is she thoughtful before she speaks, so she doesn't just bark, right? She doesn't just bark.
And that's something I'm learning not to always do, because I'm a barker. I'm not even going to lie. I'm still, you know, I think this is a part a lot of women struggle with, because we don't want to be disrespected. We don't want to be spoken over, especially there are toxic masculine men who make us use masculine energy back at them. And I've now been taught that you can be soft. And I'm like, me be soft? What are you trying to tell me? I need to be soft. But then I've now learned that they're not saying be weak, but your responses can dismantle your responses. Your divine feminine responses or your soft responses alone can dismantle somebody. And I was like, that's true, because I've seen it happen before, and I've done it before, where someone was all shouting, and I was just laughing with my soft voice and was saying my responses calmly, and my calm response shut it down. So it's like, now I'm learning, okay, I don't always have to bark to get my point across. And I think this one confirms it, that a woman's gentleness is powerful. It's not weak.
Yes,
absolutely. We think it's weak. We've been told it's weak.
It's not.
Which is a lie. This scripture here tells us, this verse here tells us it's not weak. It's actually powerful.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the wisdom one is, I realize this is to do with the reading that she does. You know, we talk a lot, we coach, and we teach a lot to our women, to our clients, that they should personally develop, you know, constantly reading. That's where wisdom comes from. Wisdom does not just fall down from a tree, right? It's you reading materials to develop yourself, right? A constant reading. I'm like, the queen lifestyle, as I tell my clients, there's a routine that has to be followed every day, which again is going to confirm in here that whole waking up early, reading something every single day, right? Because this is where your wisdom is going to come from. And actually, I think even reading has helped me in terms of pausing, not being so quick to answer, because you got so much going on, so much intelligence going on in your head. It's like, I'm just going to let you stew for a minute, Then I'll reply to you when I have thought about what I want to say, right?
Yes, yeah.
So the next one, she carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Yo, she is not lazy. She is not lazy. Let's make this clear. I'm not going to go deeper into that because I'll end up just being rude, and then that's not going to be nice.
No, common sense. They should know what you mean.
Exactly. The
sense.
next one. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. Oh,
Let's
yes.
say that again. I need y'all to get this. Okay?
Her husband praises her.
Her husband is not patriarchal. Her husband is not misogynistic. Patriarchy and misogynism is toxic masculinity. They see women as property. They don't see women as something to bless. They see women as something to disrespect. Her husband praises her, stands by her. He honors her. Her own children are proud to have her as her mother, as their mother. That means the woman is honored, not disrespected. Yes. Not what we're seeing happen in society today. The woman is honored.
Yes, by her children and her husband.
And her husband praises her. When we say her husband praises her, we're not talking about praises her by mouth. He praises her by action. So when I hear statements like, all men cheat. See my face? All men cheat. All men disrespect their wives.
It don't say that in here. It does not say her
husband cheats on her. A man that praises his wife. And a man that praises and honors his wife, of course she will submit to his leadership. Of course she will be like, okay, what do you want to eat today? How can I give you, what dinner would you like? How can I be of service to you as your wife?
Yes.
How can I nurture you? How can I help you as a helper? How can I comfort you? Because this is the energy she's receiving.
Absolutely. That praise doesn't come from, from nothing, right?
From disrespect. Nope.
At all. Oh my God.
Let's pay attention to that line. Her husband praises her.
Let's bold it. Exactly. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. She is one of a kind. Woo!
That brings us back to the more precious than rubies. She is not just any woman that anyone can have access to her. She's not part of the crowd. You remember the word surpass them all? That means she's not in no crowd. She stands out all the time. She can't fit in. She was not made to fit in. So now, if you're wondering, you know what? Why don't I seem to fit in with people? I don't think I'm made to fit in. It's okay. You're not supposed to. At all. She's a leader. And leaders do not follow the crowd. They stand out. So that's confirming that she's a leading woman. And leading women are intimidating to those who don't even know who they are.
Absolutely.
So your frequency is so high. Now you know that you surpass them all. You can't just hang around with anybody.
Yes. And again, when many women are intimidated by her, so they will start talking, trashing her. If you're that woman that you see, why is it always me that's being vindicated? Why is it always me that they're talking bad at? Because you surpass them all. You surpass them all.
You ain't no average
to own that. Own this word, acknowledge it, understand it, and move along. Find yourself a circle that will value you and appreciate you. I posted this recently. I said, if people do not understand your worth, just leave them alone. You are not supposed to explain yourself. You're not supposed to devalue yourself. You do not give discounts, okay? There's no discounts for the virtuous woman because she knows her worth. So she takes her goodies, she takes her gifts, her virtuousness, and moves along. Oh my God. Let's keep reading.
Ladies, if I keep this real,
yes,
not just anyone can have access to your body either. That's the truth. She's not accessible. Her body, her sensuality, that energy can't just reach anybody. If we go deep.
Verse 30, charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. She knows her identity in Christ, in God, right? She knows her identity. So it's not, again, it's not about makeup. It's not about all of that. Yes, she's beautiful. She stands out. But really, her identity in Christ is what really she is praised for.
Yes.
Her fear of God.
Yes.
Right?
Her godliness.
Her godliness.
Her inner goddess energy. Because she walks in her God self. She speaks in her God self. Everything about her emulates God. You see her, you see God. You know God is in her. You know God walks with her. You know God speaks through her.
Yes. Amazing. Next verse. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. Oh my God. So she is rewarded, sis.
She has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. She's meant to be rewarded.
Absolutely.
Rewarded. She's meant to be gifted, rewarded, praised.
Yes. And again, that part of let her deed publicly declare her praise, that publicly speaks to me of the empire, right?
Yes.
Because the empire is public.
Her
and
legacy.
Your empire is something that is what is praised in the world. It is known worldwide when you live an empire, right? And again, it's a positive thing, right?
Long after you're gone. Long after you're gone, your deeds will publicly still be praised beyond you. And I'll give you examples of goddesses who have long left. Okay, so as much you keep hearing me talk about the ancient Egyptian queens, I must. Queen Cleopatra is still praised to this day. This woman is so ancient. Queen Nefertiti is highly praised for her deeds as a woman, and she's very ancient. You know, Queen Nefertiti is a top one. Then we have Isis. Then we have Princess Diana. Diana, very elegant goddess woman. She went through so much. Over 20 years after she died tragically, her deeds are still praised. Her charity, what she did, going to Africa. She's Proverbs 31. She was going to Africa and doing charity. Highly praised. You know, Marilyn Monroe. Her deeds as an actress and who she inspired and who she touched, her energy, still praised. Audrey Hepburn is a top one. I love her. Audrey Hepburn's deeds as an actress, as a goddess, beautiful woman, still praised. Dorothy Dandridge, Coco Chanel, her deeds are still praised. You know, Cicely Tyson, who lived 96 whole years. Her deeds, not only just as an actress, but her philanthropy and how she gave back to her people and empowered other Black women. Her legacy to this day, long after she's gone, is still praised.
Oh my God.
Days. Yeah.
And again, with that praise, her deeds being publicly praised, even for me, it reminds me when you said Princess Diana, I mean, look at her son, right? Prince Harry recently praised her because he said, if not for the money that my mother left me,
the legacy
I would not be able to
not be surviving today.
Can you imagine? Right? That is you building, like, this woman left something for her son, that her son was able to free herself in a situation where he was stranded. I mean, that encouraged me.
His mother, she's not here. She died over 20 years ago. But what she left, her deeds, are still blessing him. And it will continue to bless him in the generations afterwards.
Absolutely. And even her works, you know, her charity work and everything that she did.
Everything
up to now, it's still talked about. Exactly. Oh my God. There's no way of concluding this. And I think it's amazing how the Proverbs 31 actually ends here. Yep. It's amazing.
It ends on the legacy point.
It ends with a legacy point. Oh my God. So the question to ask as we conclude is, ladies, are you a Proverbs 31 woman? What legacy are you leaving behind? What are you teaching your children at this point? What are you showing them? You stay in that toxic relationship. What kind of empire or examples are you going to be setting for them to remember you by?
Especially your children. Do you want your children to remember you for settling for toxicity, and then your children will continue that same cycle? I know it's not easy. I know there's situations of abuse, but you can break free. Think, you know, your children, what are you going to leave behind for them?
Absolutely.
What example are you setting? What are you teaching them is okay?
Absolutely. And I think that's so profound that it concluded like that, because ultimately everything that you are doing in your life today, you have to realize, my spiritual father says, stop worrying about now. You need to start thinking about when you go, right? When your time comes and you go, what are people going to be reading at that altar about you? What are they going to be remembering? What are they going to be saying? Are they going to be saying, oh, she used to dress so fine, and she used to she used to talk a lot, but what are you leaving behind?
Now look at the women in the Bible. Esther,
oh my
particularly.
God.
I forgot forgive me because it's gone out of my mind, but I forgot there's a part in the Bible that says that because of this woman, okay, yes, there was a king, and she always said, if it pleases the king, he made decisions based on her influence. She's an influencer. Esther was an influencer. She influenced everything that was going on in the land behind closed doors to the king. So I think because of something that she did, it's continued to be some kind of celebration.
Yes, she started a
I need to go back and study it. I have to go back and study it.
I remember
but because of that one woman, this is how powerful femininity is. So if anyone tells you femininity is weak, it's a lie. This one woman, a tradition was created.
Yes.
And I know the Israelites, the Jews, they still celebrate it till this day because of her.
It was the freedom. It's something to do with freedom of the Jews. And that decision, she overturned. She convinced her husband. The other history she made, again, this Proverbs 31 woman, virtuous woman, being wise, she calculated and thought about how to approach her king. Everybody was saying, you cannot just approach the king only until you are called. But she's like, not me. I will go and meet the king. And when she did, he listened. Right? So it's taking that courage to do something different, to come out of the norm, to break the cycle. A lot of people are like stuck there because they're like, I've never seen anybody do the opposite. And I remember being in that situation, being in that, those of you that followed me would know my story of being stuck in an abusive relationship, because I hadn't seen any better. I hadn't seen any different to what I was in. But I was like, I'm about to break this cycle and do different. And this is what Esther did something different that ended up in a whole historic event. That's all we're saying, ladies. That is all we're saying. We can be here all night digesting this, but I'm looking at the time.
This is very powerful.
It's so powerful. It's so powerful. We've been here for an hour, and I think that's enough. Like that's enough food.
We've given you enough golden nuggets.
Yes, that's enough nuggets for today. So I want to thank you, Veritas, so much. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. God bless you. I know you had, you're a busy lawyer. You had such a busy day. I know you said this to me, but you still showed up. So I want to thank you, let you know I love you and I appreciate you so much. And to everybody else, I want to say thank you for watching this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share this. Somebody needs to hear this word.
It will bless them. It will transform them.
Bless somebody.
The real high value goddess that we keep hearing about is the Proverbs 31 women. And, for those of you who want to be a high value woman, I need you. I'm so glad God placed this on us, because I knew it wasn't for no reason. He was saying this high value woman movement is powerful. Women are waking up, but they're forgetting the source. You need to bring them back to the beginning.
Yes.
Because they're focused on the hype, the commercial side of it. And the commercial side of it is now being toxicized with what's injected in it. I don't like to mention, we were seeing with Mr. KS, insulting, claiming what a high value man and what high value. No. We're taking it back to what God says it is.
Yes.
Not
it's
what
all in here. It's all in the word.
Exactly. We're taking it back to what God says it is, because the toxicity, the devil plays with things. So no, we're going to bring it back to the word. And I believe it's a mission of mine. That's why I'm building Goddesspreneurs. I'm taking it back to the beginning. So make sure you share this live, because this will bless the woman who doesn't know who she is. Yes.
Self-identity starts right here. And if you've been thinking that you are not worthy, you might be a stay-at-home wife thinking, well, I'm just a stay-at-home wife. I'm not anything else. Or I'm just a single mother. I'm not anything else. You are a virtuous woman. You are a Proverbs 31 woman. You need to take yourself back into this word and see how it speaks to you. Listen to this again and just start realizing your worth. The sooner you do that, you will start attracting the right relationships, right?
Yeah.
You will start standing out. You know, if you're out there looking for a king, for example, right? This is another thing that I say. Look at Esther. Queen Esther was picked amongst how many women? Right? Because she stood out. It says in there that she stood out from the rest.
Yes.
All the queens, all the ladies were taken for 6 months to pamper. They pampered them. They looked after themselves. You're trying to look for a king and you haven't even taken care of yourself. You are not treating yourself.
Ooh,
Get your house in order.
I can't wait to release that ebook. Get your house in order.
Get your house in order. Get yourself in order. Look after yourself. You cannot be sitting there waiting to be picked when you're not standing out, when you're not loving yourself, right? So you need to learn to value yourself by learning your self-identity. Unleash yourself with gladness. And that's the purpose of my brand, to let you know that with happiness, not just with gladness me, but you can unleash yourself with gladness, live a purposeful and happy life.
Yes.
I could go on, but I'm just going to close. Do you have any last words, Veritas?
No, just God bless you. Thank you for having me. God bless all you queens. Stay connected to us and be ready to transform. But stay connected, especially to Queens Unleashed.
Yes.
Be ready to unleash.
Yes, be ready to unleash the queen inside of you. So thank you again for watching. Again, I'm reminding you, if you haven't already, do subscribe. So hit the subscribe button so that you can be able to get notified when there's a new video. Hit the bell as well so that you can get notification during the live. See how awesome we interacted with some ladies live. You can get to ask questions. I forgot to ask if there's any questions. If there are, you know, do put them on, write them, and then we can always come back and respond to the questions. If anything is unclear, again, do write the comment and then we'll come back to you. Obviously, do follow us. We shared our social sites. I'm on Instagram at Gladness Official. I am on Twitter at It's Gladness. I'm on Facebook, Gladness Official page, and YouTube, Gladness Official. Great. Veritas, do you want to share yours as well?
Oh, yeah, sure. So on Instagram, I'm at the Inspiration Guru _ all right. On YouTube, I'm the Inspiration Guru. On Clubhouse, I'm Inspiration Guru. Okay.
Yes, so, Clubhouse. I forgot to say that one. What is my Clubhouse?
Don't forget that one, though.
It's Gladness Official. Clubhouse is Gladness Official as well. And we're going to hit that Clubhouse scene very soon, Veritas, aren't we? We are going to hit the Clubhouse scene.
Yes, we are jumping on that one.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now and God bless. Mwah. Bye, Veritas.
Bye-bye.